Hello and welcome. My name is Magnus Oraka. Today's video is going to focus on the need and how the South and Southeast people should unite themselves. We're going to touch on why the people of this region are disunited and how they can come and be united. That's talking about the Igbos and their immediate neighbors, or the neighbors of the Igbos and the Igbos themselves. How can they come together and be united? Now, I have come to understand that the disunity in the Southeast region is stereotypic. It's a grand design of the caliphate so that they can continue to maneuver and get away with all the manipulation that and misdirection that they have been doing in this country and are getting away with it freely. Now let me quickly say here that the day the caliphate sees in truth that the South people and the Southeast people are united and are not divided by any of the caliphate strategy, that day we will sit down as people wrongly put in a country to talk the truth and say the truth to ourselves. So let's go into the video. Now, the first strategy of the caliphate that they have used to divide the people of the Southeast region is the problem of identity. If you ask an Igbo man, where are you from? He will say, I am an Easterner. I be Easterner. If you ask a South man, where are you from? He say, I be Southerner. Now the Igbo man is a little bit uneasy if you say he's a Southerner. The Southern man is uneasy if you say he's an Easterner. You can imagine how ingenious this caliphate strategy is. And what is it that really brought this thing that I've just mentioned? Is one simple thing. It is this word, South. There is no geography or compass where you have this word South. It doesn't exist. But for some fetish reason, some people have agreed that they should be identified like this, South. Now, to tell us that this thing is not real, I'm going to make a critical analogy using a handmade compass to tell us why this is not real. So I don't even want to see it, so I'm going to throw this away. Now, this is a handmade compass. When you are going to describe somebody, the person is either from the northern hemisphere or from the southern hemisphere. Because that's why you have the north and south pole. You don't have the west and east pole. Therefore, you will not have western hemisphere or eastern hemisphere. Usually it is northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. And might I add here that no one hemisphere is bigger or larger or smaller than another hemisphere. The hemispheres are the same. That is why it is divided by an equator. Equator means means equal. So one hemisphere is equal to another hemisphere. But the north, the caliphate, has sold the falsehood to the rest of Nigerians that they have a larger landmass. So I begin to wonder, how can, if there is a north and there is a south, how can north be larger than south if they are divided by a single equator? It still beats my imagination. My viewers who are geographers can explain this to me, but I know that one hemisphere is the same. But that's not the subject of this video. Now, if you are describing somebody, first, let's say he's from the north. Then you ask, which part of the north? Let's say he's from the northwest, which means he will be occupying the first quadrant. That means he's occupying this region. The same way, you may have somebody who is occupying the northeast. You find out that he will be here, occupying the second quadrant. That means the person occupying this region. Now, that is all with the northern hemisphere. It's the same logic you apply on the northern hemisphere that you apply on the southern hemisphere. So if you come down, you have the South Pole. So it's the same way. Somebody could be in the southwest. That means, by the way, these 2 pointers are the pointers that points where exactly one should be located. So if you say south, then we are in the south, southwest, creating a space that we are talking about this space. So this is the third quadrant. That means people are living within this region. The problem now is when you come to the southeast, you have some very funny descriptions. So you have you should also have the same logic that says people live in the fourth quadrant, which is southeast. That means people occupy this region. Now when you say somebody is living in the south, it means the person, this pointer is showing that it's in the south, and then the person is also in the south, which means the person is not living in any space. It's living in a dot. And logically that is unrealistic. It is unfathomable. So that is not true. It is not real. So you can see when they describe that you are living in the south, it means you are in the south and in the south. That means creates no space for you. It makes no sense. Why don't we have a place like west or north or east? It's funny that when the caliphate wants to describe themselves, they describe themselves using real compass description. Northwest, northeast, and the south too, the Yorubas identify with real compass description, southwest. But you now have south and southeast, and we adopt it. Why should we be united? This is a strategy specifically designed by the caliphate through General Babangida to divide us, and we accepted it, and we are divided. So let us jettison the idea and description of South and adopt the region that we ordinarily should be identified with, and that is Southeast. I hope I have spelled that. So every Igbo man is a Southerner, but from the eastern part of the southern part of Nigeria. Every Urhobo man is a Southerner, but from the eastern part of the southern part of Nigeria. Let's get that clear. So when I say Igbo man, you are a Southerner, indeed you are a Southerner, but from the eastern part. When I say Urhobo man, you are an Easterner. Yes, that is a place that is in the southern part of Nigeria. So let's not confuse this south, east, south thing. I think that clears that once and for all. Excuse me. So what other strategies have the caliphate used to divide the people of the south east? Now, another strategy that the caliphate have used is going to the region. Now, this is the map of Nigeria that I've drawn on my table. I hope it's a close representation of the map of Nigeria. Now, like I said, this is the northern hemisphere, and that is the southern hemisphere. And no one hemisphere is bigger or larger than another hemisphere. Now, the part that they describe and say middle belt is a fraud, because they just gave part of their land and call it middle belt, and took part of the southern land and call it a middle belt. So it is part of what belongs to south that they lump to themselves and said they have larger land mass. So they use a land that belongs to the south region to intimidate the south, that they have larger land mass than the south. And then most of our politicians go to Abuja and then begins to feel inferior. But that's not the subject of this video. Now, if you go to the southeast, where we all are, the Urhobos, Shekiris, Ijo, the rest of the ethnicities that are in the southeast region, since we have described that there's nothing like south-south, what we have instead is southeast, which is this region. They went to that place and carved out the major Igbo speaking area and called that place southeast. Now, how do you go to a region and carve out a region and give it the name of a whole region? That will make the other ethnicities around this place to feel that they are different from the Igbos who occupy the place that is referred to in the map of the caliphate as southeast. Please, I beg you, my southern brothers, south brothers that are using the caliphate map, you are not southerner. You are a southeasterner. Same region with the Igbos. Let's not allow this petty division to see ourselves differently. Please, we are not. So, because the Igbos are lumped together in a very small space and are given a description of a region, they too feel that that is what belongs to them. And they too feel somehow different from the rest of the South people. So what I need to do is to clean out this description and then leave the place blank, because everybody there should now adopt the entire southeast portion that is the same as what the northeast describe themselves, or the northwest describe themselves, or the southwest describes themselves. So that is the second strategy that the caliphate are using to divide us. You get me? Now the other division that I've also discovered is the lingua franca. If you come to the north, the Hausas or Fulanis are the major tribe in the north, and they've adopted Hausa as the general language of communication in the north. The same thing if you go to the southwest. The Yorubas are the most populous tribe in the southwest, and they have adopted Yoruba as a major language spoken around this region. The Igbos are the most populous tribe in the southeast, but the Igbo language is not the chosen lingua franca, the chosen means of communication in the southeast region. Why is this so? We will come to that in other points, in other points. But when people speak the same language, it tends to create a bond. When a bureau man from Middle Belt is speaking Hausa always, there's a tendency that he will feel he's closer to the Hausa man than he is to the Igbo man that he doesn't speak his language. Or the bureau man that speaks the Hausa language every day will feel he's closer to the Hausa man than the Yoruba man that doesn't speak his language. The same thing with other tribes that stay in the southwest. When you tend to speak the language, you tend to have a feeling that you are close to the Yoruba people. So language, it creates bond. So we will come to that, but the fact that we don't have a social means of communication using one adopted language is also a reason why we are also divided. Then the other strategy that the caliphate has also used to divide us is the obnoxious sharing of wealth that they call the 13% derivation for the NDDC, which is the Niger Delta Development Corporation. Now, I am very angry when I hear this figure that the caliphate will come and take the wealth. It's like coming into your room. I take whatever sales you have made for the day, and I say, okay, this is your share. And I say that's what belongs to you. It's funny because it's unrealistic, but the greed of most of the southern elites will not allow them to see that, because they and their families are the only ones enjoying the benefits of the 30% derivation. So telling such people that Nigeria needs to break, Nigeria needs to divide, they are oppressing us, they are cheating us, they will not see any cheating because they are enjoying. They are getting 13% derivation. How do you tell such a man that Nigeria is cheating him, the caliphate is cheating them? He will tell you, I beg, they carry this your wish, they go. I beg, go do your fight alone. You see, he will not listen to you. So that 13% derivation, I want to tell the people of the southeast region, and I want to tell the people of the southeast region that we are supposed to be giving Nigeria derivation and determine what percentage we should give to Nigeria or the caliphate. And not the caliphate taking our wealth and determining what should give us. With all the derivation that we're collecting from the caliphate, the south is still not developed. We still have poor academic institutions. We still have dilapidated road. I was traveling the other day from Benin to the north, and the roads are bad. They are not dual carriageways, and these are old roads that dates back to the time of independence. So I still wonder why we allow ourselves to be cheated, and that is because this will understand the level of our greed and they massage it so that we can always become susceptible to their evil manipulation. Now, the last reason why the southeast is divided is the Igbos themselves. Please, I would want you to follow me carefully. Do not make your conclusions until you get to the end of the video, so that you don't say, this guy, they abuse Igbo man. No. Okay. So now that's one. Now, it is no longer news that the caliphate has disbursed 160 billion to his grand force that we all know as Mieti Allah. And it is no longer news that the same caliphate are telling us that Mieti Allah is the same thing as Ohaneze, is the same thing as Afenifere. Can you beat that kind of insult. Non-terrorists are now seen as the same thing with established institution, our ancestral culture, and they say we are the same thing as terrorists. Well, that is not the subject of this video. Now, the caliphate's intention or agenda is to occupy the whole of this land and ensure that the rest of this region, it becomes subservient or becomes slaves to it. Now, they seem to achieve that because they have the middle belt. Remember, they said that they will use the middle belt as their willing tool. And by all indication, I think that is actually in play. And then we have the southwest. Now, without prejudice, I will say the southwest have become one other problem that we have in Nigeria, because they have refused to align their interests for the entire south, that includes the southeast and themselves. As far as they are concerned, whatever is good for the southwest, so long as it is good for them, the rest of the southeast can go to hell. That is how I see the southwest. Because it is preposterous that the only port that Nigeria has is located within the southwest, when the southwest are not the one that does the import, they are not the one that does the export. The southeast people are the ones that does most of the exports and imports. So what stops ports, the Warri port, Calabar port, and other ports located in the southeast to be opened? Now, they have international airport, the southeast don't have. Now, anytime the caliphate wants to cheat Nigeria, they always seek the assistance of people from the southwest. All they need to do is take whatever they want and give the southwest a share. And most times, because they understand the southwest to be very selfish and self-centered people, they would always massage that discovery or that understanding to get them in line to always be loyal to the caliphate. For instance, a Yoruba man will be happy that they have a vice president, even though the vice president as it is today is of no use to them. So, but then that is not the subject of the point of bringing all this is to see how complicated Nigeria is and why all this complication are. But let's put these players aside. Let's keep these players aside. The key players here are the people of the south and southeast. Remember, we have talked about this south. So because it doesn't exist now, by mere labeling these people south, it has rendered them they've splitted themselves. Now, if I want to elaborate this with this example, you find out that they are divided. Now, when you are divided, you become small in the face of the caliphate towers above you. All I want the people of the southeast to do, the southeast to do, is take away this false label from the south people. Take away this false label from the south because it doesn't exist, and throw it away. Now, when you throw that away, join this together, and you see that we are now equal with the people, with the caliphate. Now, like this, we can rub shoulders, we can fight together, we can flex muscle together. A position of negotiation comes, but right now, because the caliphate sees us as small entities, they seem to think they are above us and feel they can control us the way they want to control us. So I strongly believe that the south thing should be jettisoned and a single identity of southeast should come, so that this is how we will now appear with the caliphate. And therefore, a means of equal pedestal will now be established so that we can talk head to head. You get me? No one is above another, no one is above another. Now, the problem is now the level at which the Igbo man has attained in knowing that they are marginalized. The other regions have not attained that region. Now, when you tell an Igbo man to, Jesus Christ told his disciples, go ye into the world and spread the gospel. That is Jesus Christ. I see no reason why the Igbo man cannot also go into his neighbors and spread the gospel of liberation, the gospel of emancipation, and then the gospel of liberation or secession. But the Igbo man will say, no, I'm not going to go meet them. After all, like the other day I was in a bar. An Igbo guy who owns the bar was telling me that we Igbos, we are the three wise men. We are the most populous. We are the most populous people in the region. They should come and meet us. They should come and join. If they don't want to come and join, they should remain in Nigeria and become slaves. You see, when I see people talk like that, I see pride talking. Now, an Igbo man will say that he is Republican. It is okay. An Igbo man will say he is egalitarian. It is okay. An Igbo man will say he is equalitarian. That means he doesn't want anybody to be above him. After all, I'm a man of myself. I make my money. I feed myself. It is okay. That is when you have an individual project. To be egalitarian or equalitarian or Republican, when it is an individual project, it's fine and okay. But when it becomes a communal project where other people, you will need the help of other people, then the concept of egalitarianism will not work. Now, let me tell you something. The day the rest of the communities in the southeast region begin to perceive the Igbo man as people capable of exerting humility, then there will be the possibility of that simple cohesion of coming together. But for now, people are put off sometimes by the display of lack of humility, sometimes displayed by the Igbo. Please, I don't say this with any intention to offend someone, but sometimes we need to say this thing the way it is. That is not to say the South people are not arrogant. They are too. But they come with a culture where they have kings. The people from the other regions, they have a culture where they have kings that they are loyal to and respect. These other people don't have the concept of hierarchy. Now, if you are going to, because the whole concept of Biafra, the whole concept of secession is a communal concept where you have to bring other people. So if you are bringing a communal concept, the concept of egalitarianism or egalitarianism will not work, or Republican system or Republican mentality will not work. You rather have to adopt a system, a cosmopolitan system that absorbs every other tribe. Some sort of harmony that brings the other tribe that believes in hierarchy and culture of kings with you that have little or no culture of kingship in your culture. So I think that is what is that. And because the Igbos have not endeared themselves so much to the other tribes in the East, that is why you don't have the language as a lingua franca that is spoken within the region. I want to go to Warri, for instance, and we hear and say, Biko, Bian neighbor, with them this thing. But you see, it's difficult to say this thing without hurting someone. We need to say this thing the way it is. The emotion that during the war, a lot of Igbos were killed, it's okay. That you are being marginalized, it's okay. These are true. These are true issue. In fact, I'm also very happy that the fact that an Igbo man is egalitarian is good, because that is why we are even talking about the reason for secession today, the egalitarian nature of the Igbo man. If they were not, if they were not egalitarian, we probably wouldn't be talking about secession or the awareness that we need to break off. So it is good. But what I'm saying here is that when you come into a communal project, such as bringing other tribes together, like the other tribes in the region together, then you cannot be talking about egalitarianism. Rather, we'll be talking about a cosmopolitan approach to bringing people together. And all I just pray that an Igbo man should know that the idea that nah, because get out, look at this Onye boy, look at this Onye house, but actually may move, nah, because get out. Do you know me? Hey, homie, I am chief. This, you see, these are vanities and pure abstract that really are not necessary. In politics, pride and arrogance does not work. You can see the Hausa man, when it comes to you, what does he do? Master, haba master, rankadedi, haba master. He does all that until he gets what he wants. Same to the Yoruba man. He prostrates and does anything until he gets what he wants. But an Igbo man comes, do you know me? He hold me. No, I can't. Nah, because get that. You get me? let's just do, but it's the truth. We need to know when to. All I'm just saying is here is this: if it's an individual project, it's okay. In your house, you can assert your authority that I'm the one in charge here. After all, nobody is feeding this house. I'm the one in charge. But for a communal or a cosmopolitan project, we need. So, finally, in conclusion of this video, disunity in the southeast will make us look little in front of the caliphate, but unity will make us look equal with the caliphate. So, in all honesty, I'm begging the people of the south, the southeast, the Urobos, the Shekiris, the Ikwere, the Calabaris, the Calabars, every single tribe that I can recall now, I am begging us, please and please. The pettiness, the petty tribe that will say, I don't want to join Igbo man, I don't want to join this their Biafra, I beg, I don't want this thing. Please, it should stop. We have an impending tsunami that is sweeping through Nigeria, that is crushing everywhere. Very soon, they will come into your land and take everything you own, everything you hold dear. Your children will blame you that somebody like me came and said this thing. What did their parents do? I will tell them in the grave that I tell my parents, so I tell them every day they do video, they tell they no great take them. So please, let's come together and unite so that we can crush this caliphate to nothing and tower above the caliphate.